Our topic is Chapter 6, Integrated Operations Planning and Unpacking. This is our content. First, we will talk about the supply chain planning and the application, and also sales and operations planning. And then is the overview of the APS system. And also talk about the collaborative planning and forecasting and replenishment.
The supply chain planning systems and supported information systems seek to integrate information and coordinate overall logistic and supply chain decisions. And there are three drivers of effective planning. First is the supply chain visibility, and the second is simultaneous resource considerations, and the last one is a resource utilization. And the first one is supply chain visibility. There's a need for visibility regarding location and status of supply chain inventory and resource. And visibility implies two things. First one is being able to track supply chain inventory and resource. And the second one is the information regarding available resource can be effectively evaluated and managed. The second one is simultaneous resource considerations. As the need to simultaneously consider supply chain demands, capacity, material requirements, and concentrates is revised to consider storage and transportation concentrates. Next one is a resource utilization. It's the need for coordinated approach that consider service requirements while minimizing combined supply chain and resource. And the next one I'm going to talking about is the next one. I'm going to talking about is the supply chain planning application. And the supply chain planning increasing in frequency and scope. And there are three planning. First one is a demand planning, and the second one is a production planning, and the last one is a logistic planning. The demand planning seeks to provide such capabilities, and it's the information technology components of the process. And it begins with a forecast. And the next one is a production plan. It's the statement of requirements defines what items are needed and when. And it's match the requirements plan with the production concentrates. And the logistic plan is coordinates transportation, warehousing, and inventory with need firm between supply chain partners. And it focus related to international shipments. And the inventory deployment is replaced one of the major enterprise integrate of sales, marketing, and financial goals. And the inventory deployment process is about the long term and short term. The long term is focused on annual project of the coordination of the person. And the short term is about the weekly is about the weekly part of the integrative. And the last one, next one, is about the sales and operation plan. And I'm going to talk about the sales and operation plan. Next one. And there are firms have often independently developed by financial, sales, and operation. The financial is about the revenue plan, and the sales is about the marketing plan, and the operations is about the some things that just like the human resource. And next one, the S&OP process, and they have three components of S&OP process. The business plans is about the financial forecast, and the sales plan is about the marketing plan, and the resource plan is about the partnership resource. And the marketing S&OP work. The requirements of the use of the S&OP is the most important is the supply chain visibility and data integrations across multiple values of the firm, and the performing monitoring and auditing to enable rapid response to unplanned events. And there are 8 keys of the achieving the business performance using S&OP. First one is executing the process every month, and the process ownership and clarity of roles and responsibilities. And the third one is the organizational commitment to achieving high forecast accuracy. And focus should be on next 3 to 12 months. One integrated plan that integrates the action of the entire organization, and the senior management decision making, and the measuring end-to-end supply chain performance. And the last one is S&OP forecast various operating plan or budgets.
I'm going to talk about the APS system. This is the picture of the supply chain. And next, we will talk about the overview of the APS system. And this system can be combined with 2 parts. The first part is the spatial parts. It includes the raw material provider, manufacturing plants, warehouse, distributor, and retailer, and the end user consumer. For another aspect is the temporal aspect. It includes the timing and scheduling the plan. And about the APS system reflect the resource status and the allocation at a point of the time, and identify the most cost-effective trade-offs. And the APS system offers the ability to evaluate the complex trade-offs. And next is the APS systems components. And the picture over that is how the APS system combine each other. And these are the things that important about APS system components. First is the resource management. There are 4 other types of information. First one is the product and customer definition. And the second one is the resource definition. The third one is the system limitation. And the last one is the planning function. Another APS component is resource optimization. There are something that we should know on the books. And next one is the resource allocation. There are 2 parts important in this aspect. The first one is the available to promise, which is the ATP, and it's used to make the shipment or promise available in the future. And this allows the firm to commit scheduled production to the consumer. And the next one is capable of promise, which is the CTP. And it used to design the request product can be promised for future delivery. And the last one of the APS system is the demand management. It developed the requirement projector for the planning horizon. And it guarantees the sales forecast. And next we'll talk about the supply chain planning. There are some benefits of the supply chain planning. It responsive to the change, and also the comprehensive perspective means that it increases the planning process complexity and substantially. And the resource utilization. The more comprehensive the planning and the reduced uncertainty. There are also some consideration about the supply chain planning. first one is the integration with other supply chain application. And the next one is the data integrated. The last one is the education regarding planning system application. And there is the planning, talk about the integrated business planning, which is IBT. There are some benefits of the IBT, which is the greater financial integration and inclusion of strategic initiative and activities. And it improves the simulation and modeling of the alternatives. And it is easier translation between aggregates and detailed levels of planning. And this is the CPFR, which is the collaborative planning, forecasting, and replenishment. It is the process initiated by the consumer product industry, and it coordinates the requirement planning process between the supply chain partners. And it develops the reduced unplanned and uncoordinated events. And there are 4 steps within the CPFR strategy. That's all.
Hello, I'm Rita. Now I'm going to talk about the forecasting requirements. Effective logistic requirement matching the product requirement of customers with the capabilities of the enterprise and supply chain. And the logistic forecasts are necessary to support collaborative planning, to drive requirement planning, and to improve resource management. And a collaborative planning is that jointly agreed to by supply chain partners arrives a common goal that can be the basis for developing effective operating plan. And if a company without a collaborative plan, the supplier-customer combination result in either inventory excess or shortage. And the goal of requirement planning is to develop a common and consistent plan for each time period, location, and item. And the resource management is be used to manage critical supply chain process such as production, inventory, and transportation. And there are some components of forecasting, like best demand, seasonal trend, cyclic, promotion, and irregular. And the best demand is represent the long-term average demand after the remaining components have been removed. And the seasonal component is an annually recurring upward and downward movement in demand. And the last one is the trend component. It is the long-range shift in periodic sales. And the cyclic component is characterized by predict shift in demand lasting more than a year. And the promotion components is something like advertising, deals, or promotions. And the irregular components includes the random or unpredictable quantities that don't fit within the other categories. And I'm going to talk about the forecasting process. And this is a picture about component of an effect forecast management process. And see the middle part. It's mentioned 3 components of forecast process, like administration, technique, and support system. And the technique is computation used to combine both seasonal and cyclic components. And the support system includes supply chain intelligence to gather and analyze data and develop the forecast. And the administration includes the organizational, procedural, and personal aspect of forecasting and its integration into the other first functions. And there are 3 categories of forecasting techniques. The first one is qualitative. It relies heavily on enterprise and are costly and time consuming. And the second one is time series. is the time series techniques are statistical methods utilized when historical sales data containing relative clear. And there are 4 time series techniques. And the first one is moving average, and the second one is exponential moving, and the third one is distance moving, and the last one is adaptive moving. And the last one of the category of forecasting technique is casual. Casual techniques are commonly used to generate annual or national sales forecasts. And now I'm going to talk about the forecasting accuracy. It refers to the difference between forecast and corresponding actual sales. And when a company wants to compare the forecast, they will calculate these 2 things. And the first one is mean absolute deviation. It's the average distance between each data value and the mean. And the next one is mean absolute percentage error. It's used as a figure of merit to identify whether a data mining method is performing well or not.